Carson is in Louisville, Kentucky, and he said, what are some of your early thoughts on week one games? I got several. I'm not going to do previews or anything, but I mean, Florida State plays LSU on a Sunday night in Orlando, Florida. And LSU's favored by 2.5 right now, and that is one of the beautiful things about college football in our sport, at least for one more year. You can have a week one game that feels like a playoff game because you can already have one of those teams either driving or flying back to their campus after that one's over, knowing we probably have no more margin for error after this if we've lost. And last year's was crazy down in the Superdome, and this year's should be the same. You got Jordan Travis and Jaden Daniels at quarterback. Both of those guys are on several preseason Heisman watch lists, rightfully so. Both of them have win totals of 9.5. It's a great week one matchup. Wish it would have been in Tiger Stadium and FSU. Home games. I've been to one of them. I've been to one at Doak, and it was against Clemson. It was a few years ago. Just lit up. I would love to see that again. By the way, Stats and Info tells me we have only 5 games in week one involving a Power 5 team with a spread of under 7. When I am college football commissioner, you will never have a stat like that again. I am telling people when they're playing because it's in your best interest. And I'm not going to deal everyone the kind of deck that the conference regularly deals Arkansas when it comes to scheduling, but you're not all loading up on FCS and G5 nobodies in week one, getting favored by 0.5. No. Many more of you are going to step up to the plate like LSU and FSU did. Thursday night, you don't have to wait until Saturday. Thursday night, Florida goes to Utah. Florida at Utah, friends. Thursday night, Utah is a 9-point favorite. This one was an instant classic last year down in Gainesville. And we'll see, man, because Florida, that preseason over-under win total, I really don't think most of the country's seen it yet. I think a lot of the country is going to come back to the table mid-August, and they're going to say, okay, what did I miss? And they're going to flip through the preview mags and look at the odds, and they're going to see 5.5 next to Florida, and they're going to say, that can't be right. It's right. Well, it's the odds. I don't know if it's right or not. It's the odds. And then out in Utah, you're playing the back-to-back defending, well, they're back-to-back. They're not defending anything. They're back-to-back Pac-12 champs, been knocking on the door of the playoff both years. Incredibly difficult to beat last year. You got to go into their house in Salt Lake City now. That's fun. It's always fun to watch the SEC go out of conference. You know, Dion's on the road in week one. They're at TCU. Anyone want to venture a guess, by the way? Point spread there? Colorado at TCU. TCU minus 20. I don't know what to expect. I don't know if there's a bunch of skill in even breaking that game down. I'm sure we will, but I don't know what to expect. Here is my thought. My thought is the same as my sister's thought would be. I can't wait to see what Dion looks like as the head coach of Colorado. That's about it. The Floyd is my witness. I have no idea what to expect. If you know what this is a good spot to do, it's a good spot to bring our friend the alien back down. If I could pick one game in week one to plop the alien down next to me on the couch, I pick Colorado at TCU. And the alien has no better guess than me. Like, he gives his prediction on the game, and I give my prediction, and it is coin flip. I have no clue what's going to happen. It's going to be fun to watch, though, because TCU could win that thing 49-0. Colorado could win 24-23, and neither result surprises me. UNC and South Carolina, regrettably, play a neutral site game, but fortunately at least play a game in week one. The site is Charlotte, North Carolina. North Carolina is favored by 1.5 in this game right now in the odds market. You got Spencer Rattler back at quarterback. You got Drake May back at quarterback. The country can't quite figure out how to process Spencer Rattler, can they? I've told you my opinion. My opinion is as simple as thought he was shackled to the wrong offensive coordinator last year. And once he was free of that situation, in lieu of using much harsher terminology, he looked a lot better. And so this year, that's an entire season of that. I think it'll look a lot better. And by the way, how much do you have to be salivating as a South Carolina quarterback or any kind of quarterback to draw North Carolina's defense as your week 1 opponent. That's got to be a fun August build. And so we've got that one. We got West Virginia at Penn State. I get to see Drew Aller start at quarterback. We get to see Penn State kind of crack their knuckles a little bit. Penn State's favored by 20 in this one. The difference is they're not playing Colorado. They're playing West Virginia several years in now to the Neil Brown tenure. Neil Brown, probably the hottest seat of any head coach in college football this year. And so let's see how that one turns out. And lastly, but not leastly, it's just on a Monday night. Chronologically, it's the last game of the week. Clemson goes to Duke. You have nothing else to do on Labor Day night, college football-wise at least. Keep an eye on this game. Not a big point spread. TCU is favored by a lot more over Colorado, and Penn State is favored by a lot more over West Virginia than Clemson is over Duke. That's a 12-point line, and Duke has got a heck of a quarterback, and they get the home field advantage, whatever that means in Durham, North Carolina. They got home field advantage. Be really fun. Be really fun to watch. You remember Clemson opened with Georgia Tech, I think it was last year, and it was a really tight game for a half, and then Clemson eventually pulled away, but I remember at halftime, it's like a one-possession game, and everyone's going, ugh, this offense looks gross. And it didn't improve a ton, but they did win that one. Well, what if we get like a replay, but Duke actually takes them to the wire? Fun week 1 matchups there.